Top of the morning to you, my fellow peasants. How you all doing? So you've seen the title, you've seen the thumbnail, you know what you came to this video for. Top 10 Cids ranked. These are just my personal 10 Cids from my personal 10 games. You're busy people, so let's get straight into it. Now I know I'm going to get a hell of a lot of heat for this first pick, but I'm going Dr. Cid from Spirits Within. Now, I know that people don't like the movie, and I think it's mediocre at best in my opinion, but one of the things I did not dislike was Dr. Cid. In fact, I thought this guy was pretty solid. I mean, move aside Aki Ross, the true protagonist of this film is Dr. Cid. It's his research, it's his technology that he created that is saving mankind, it's even him balancing the political situations against people like Captain Douchebag. Next up, I'm going Cid del Norte Margrace from FF6. So this is the Cid with his disgustingly garishly yellow raincoat who created the Magitech technology and even the procedure to implement that into humans. One of his first guinea pigs was a dude you may have heard of, Kefka Palazzo. You heard of him? And after that experiment went tits up, he then tried it again on a refined process on a 2-year-old girl called Celeste. Now on that alone, you could certainly question the morals and principles of this dude, but the simple fact is he was trying to do it for the best, for the better, for the good of mankind, because when his technology is later being used by the Empire, he does everything in his power to stop it, aids the crew, helps save the world, even by just raising Celeste like his own daughter. For good or bad, this Cid is definitely an interesting character and definitely deserving of a place at number 9. At number 8, we are going possibly the coolest, Al-Cid Margrace from FF12. This guy's style and swag levels are over 9,000. Yes. But just beyond his swag, he's a royal family member of Rosaria, so he's kind of in a rock and a hard place throughout the game between the empires of Arcadia and Dalmasca, and he handles it cool as a cucumber, looking for resolutions of peace. But we have to now talk about his assistant, the perpetually silent sexy maid he has at his side, who is specifically there just to hang his sunglasses on her generous bosom. Right, I've decided I need one. There is now officially a position open for any peasant interested. Please submit your CV and your application to ffpeasant@mail.com. Screw it, I'll even accept applications from any male peasants with generous man titties. Yep, number 7's going to the oglop, the king of infidelity himself, Cid Fabool from FF9. This guy, what do we say about this guy? He's definitely one of the quirkiest Cids, even out of a frog or oglop form, and like every good Cid, he created the airship, the Hildegard, named after the woman he cheated on. Yeah, you've definitely got to look past the cheating with this selection. But he did more than just build an airship. He hosted some dank operation meetings at his castle, and he even followed Zidane and the gang to confront Kuja. He even adopted Aiko at the end, and if none of this is enough to deserve him a spot at number 7, then that moustache damn well is. It's bloody glorious. Look at it! FF14 Cid is coming in at number 6, so Cid Garland. I've only got to level 50 and I'm placing this guy at number 6. He plays a huge role in the pretty consistent and damn engaging story that FF14 has. I know there's going to be some people saying FF14 is not a Final Fantasy because it's MMO, and to all of those people I say shut the hell up, fool. It's a Final Fantasy and it's a damn good one at that. Now I'm not going to say much for spoilers, but Cid was a prodigy in Magitech engineering and he helps to bring down the Garland Empire, but it's not so easy for him to do because he kind of has ties with the Garland Empire. That's all I'm saying. Finishing this off entirely hypothetically, if I was hypothetically a 20-year-old hypothetical female, I hypothetically would have a hypothetical crush on Cid. Hypothetically. I placed him pretty high on my anti-heroes list, and I'm placing him quite high now. Cid Raines from FF13, and indeed the entire trilogy. For anyone who's played Lightning Returns, you know that Cid Raines went on to play a much bigger character. Everything that this Cid did was just crazy relatable. I could understand what he was doing, and there was good reason for him doing it. At the end of the day, Lightning and the gang were being groomed by the FFII to destroy the world, bring about Ragnarok, crash Cocoon, open Etrel's Gate, all that crazy shit. And Cid Raines put his life on the line to stop that, just to try to stop the FFII plan. The really sad and bitter irony is that by trying to defy his focus, he completed it. A really epic Cid in the franchise, and the fight with him was no joke. It kicked my ass about 4 or 5 times, but it was wholly satisfying, and his character model is dope. Bombs away! Enough said. Number 3, I'm going Cidolfus Demen Bonanza. So a second Cid, another Cid from FF12, is making the list. While coming across like a crazy, wild, madman villain at first, there's a hell of a lot of layers to Cidolfus. That really, when you strip them all away, you are left with a man who is perfectly aware of what he is doing and what he is looking to achieve. He is such an intelligent dude, and the reason I'm placing this Cid so high is just the air he had about him, the way he carried himself, his personality, his characterization. You could really see who he was related to in the game, because every single second that he was on screen, I was gripped. I was hooked. And once again, really dope boss fight. And now for the prized second spot, it's going to Cid Aulstyne, Imperial Marshal of the Militesi Empire from Type 0. Now, it might seem like because it's Type 0, I'm shoehorning this Cid in, but honestly, he's just one of the best Cids. Ruthless, unwavering, but loved by his people. This guy is the ultimate personification of how far a leader would or should go for his people. He is the prime embodiment of the core concept of the entire Teofabula Nova Crystallis, which is the battle between free will versus fate. Now, I can't say anything more than that without giving away spoilers, but Cid, he's one of the characters who I feel people don't fully understand the full weight of his involvement in the game. He plays a far bigger role than perhaps even my number 1 pick or any Cid in the series. He's a character that honestly requires people to just sit and analyse him for like a good half an hour, which of course most players won't and don't do. But it's really the only way to see Cid as being more than just the Adolf Hitler of Final Fantasy. The German term Lebensraum, which means living space, became an ideological principle of Nazism under Hitler, which was the justification of seizing land, territory, or even as far as the permanent removal of a nation that is deemed racially inferior, all for the good and betterment of the realm. Now, to me and you, that seems dark as hell. What on earth could push such a significant portion of a nation to get behind such an evil ideology? In short, poverty and suffering. After the Germans lost the First World War and the Militesi Empire lost their crystal, both led to the people nominating a radicalized leader. Time begins as that Adolf Hitler. 40 hours and a bucket load of character development later, he ascends to something a whole lot more, and that's why he makes number 2 on my list. And here we are. Well, it was obvious, guys. It was obvious I was going to give it to Cid Highwind as number 1. I mean, there's no other pick. Anything else is just an abomination. So this Cid, of course, he was one of our main characters. He was one of our core party members. Admittedly, not one of the first, but the reason why I think Cid takes it to a whole other level is he had story arcs that were focused entirely on him. As a technical genius with aspirations of going into space, the shitting all over his dreams and spending the next X number of years paying for it in the form of domestic abuse. He is definitely rough around the edges and says some pretty messed up stuff. But Cid Highwind, he is a hero, he is headstrong, and he's invaluable to the team of FF7. So much so that when Cloud was temporarily out of action, the person they elected to be their leader, and he held the ship steady. And it was at the point of FF7 where things were at its worst. The entire group was still in mourning, Meteor was coming, and the kaiju were attacking Gaia. And yet he rose up when things were at their darkest. So my respect levels for him are through the roof, and throughout Advent Children, Dirge of Cerberus and all the other iterations of the 7 universe. Cid, with his quirky traits, he has never failed to deliver boatloads of character to every single scene he is in, and whether you love or hate that character falls to each of us to decide. But as I fall into the old cliche camp of my first and favourite FF is 7, this Cid is a Cid I have grown to love more than any other, and that's why he makes my number 1. But that is it, people. That is my top 10. It's usually at this point with any top 10 list that a string of honourable mentions are reeled off at the end to appease those who are bumhurt that a certain entrant didn't make the cut. But frankly, I've got a date with a big bag of chicken wings to uphold, and ain't nobody got time for that. So as always, guys, let me know in the comment section below your favourite list of Cids. How does it compare against mine? And I'll see you on the next video. Goodbye!